Hi guys. Today is wow, what is today? The 15th? 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, today's the 15th. It's June 15th and it's a Monday. Okay. And we got some big stuff coming up astrologically. So one of the biggest things that is going to impact me a lot, I think, is Chiron, which is not a planet, but it is an asteroid, I believe. And it represents it's called the wounded healer in astrology. So it represents all of our internal, deeply rooted wounds around, depending on whatever sign it is in your chart, it's whatever wounds are around that particular aspect of how you perceive yourself or feel about yourself in your life, stemming all the way back from childhood. And my Chiron is in Gemini, so it is, for me, it is finding your inner voice, feeling, leaning more into being more comfortable, being assertive, being seen, being heard, just really that inner core wound of not feeling like people understand you or get you. So anybody out there that can relate to that, you might have a Gemini Chiron as well, because it can feel like a very lonely existence. However, it's moving in astrologically. It's currently in Aries, so it's been really putting a lot of emphasis behind your purpose in life and helping you heal those wounds of the fight or flight. Like, instead of fleeing away from your issues, fight for them, fight for what's right. So Aries is a very fiery, forward-moving sign. So when Chiron is in Aries, it's teaching us to fight for what we deserve and want and fight for what's right for us in our lives. And so now it's moving into Taurus on the 19th of this month. So for a Taurian, a very strong Taurian like me, it's then switching over to teaching me and everyone else in the collective self-worth. And now that you've learned the lessons of what Aries taught us about standing up for yourself, all of those things, now it's teaching you to apply those things that you've learned to yourself, to honor who you are and to be true to yourself and to really lean into self-worth and standing on your own 2 feet, knowing, damn it, no, I'm worth more than this, or you're not going to treat me this way, or it could be self-worth around any aspect of your life. But I just find it interesting that's going to be in Taurus, because it seems to be in my personal life, everything heavy that can happen to Taurus just keeps happening. So it's like, first it was Gemini or Uranus and Taurus, and that like wreaked havoc on my life for like almost a decade. And now Chiron's going into Taurus, and it's going to be in there till 2033. So I'm just like, right on, universe. Let's just keep fucking me sideways. I'm just kidding. This isn't about me. Sorry. I just can't help it. I'm just like, ugh. But it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just more lessons. Just can't wait for that. For me and everybody. It's not just me. On a less heavier note, we have Venus, I think, has already moved into the sign of Leo, which means it's really loving attention right now. So anybody out there that wants to make some really strong proclamations of love or admiration, Venus will support you on that. It is a very courageous in love kind of feel when you have Venus in the sign of Leo, because Leo just loves to be the center of attention, and Leo loves to just be like, oh, just this is how I feel, and oh my God, and just like so extra. So that's going on. And if any of you are just kind of feeling like you just have so much to say about your feelings, that's Venus in Leo for sure. And then we also have a retrograde in Mercury coming up. So those are always fun. Retrogrades always, tend to pull back the curtain of confusion and throw a little hitch in our giddy ups, whether it's with, it can be stuff like what's it called? Like digital stuff. You could just have like a lot of complications with digital platforms you're using, or if you know, just a lot of random things that can happen with that. There could be miscommunications, misunderstandings, and Mercury's in Cancer, so it could definitely be very much like, it almost seems counterintuitive because Mercury in Cancer, Mercury is the sign of communication in the mind. Cancer is a very watery, emotional sign, and so when you put those two together, things can be a lot more hypersensitive when it comes to lines of communication. And so we've got that, and then we've got Leo in Venus, and Venus is being like, but say what you want, say you love them, say this, say that. And so you got these two like completely conflicting things that are like, Mercury's going into retrograde, Venus wants you to say this shit, but Mercury's gonna be like, are you sure? Like, it's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be a weird dynamic. So yeah, there's a lot of big heavy shifts coming up. I think also Jupiter is moving into Leo soon, so we'll get into that when it gets closer, but there's just a lot going on. So the energy is going to feel a little chaotic, I think, right now. And you know what, why not? Because the world is chaotic, so par for the course. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. Got my Any Means Necessary deck. I absolutely love this guy's artwork. It's Sean Koss is his name. So we're going to dive right into that, and then if I have time, I did pull out an Oracle deck to use as well. So honestly, guys, I don't even remember what we got last week, but let's just roll with it. We're going to just, oh, and I got like it's not a selfie stick. I got oh, okay. I got a thingy, the thing that holds phones, okay, to make this a little more hands-free. 4 of Pentacles. Pretty sure we have not had that. Oh, yes. That's something I didn't mention. This is so relevant. Sorry, I got excited. But the reason why 4 of Pentacles is so relevant, because the other thing about Chiron moving into Taurus is the sign of Taurus obviously encompasses stability, groundedness, you know, that earthy, constant, or consistency. Taurus is the sign of not just stability, but financial stability, financial worth. It's all about kind of like what we build for our little foundation in our little worlds. Like what is our own worth as far as, oh my God, it's so funny. And I just got, my one app just said, Venus is sextiling Uranus right now. So it's just like, gosh. We're not gonna talk about that, but I didn't know that my app did that, so weird. So because Taurus is the sign of financial stability, emotional stability, just groundedness in general, but it very much encompasses, you know, what do we build our foundation upon? What do we consider our own worth, and what we build our futures on? And so with that said, Chiron going into that is not just teaching us our self-worth as far as our psyche goes and like how we see ourselves and how we respect and honor our own feelings, but it's also teaching us our worth as far as financial stability. And that right here is the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is a guy who's sitting with one pentacle, he's like clutching really tightly against his chest. Then he has one sitting on his head, and then he has one under each foot. So this card essentially is the card of stability and financial stability. However, it can also be prudish. It can be a little too tight on the purse strings. So this card is kind of, in a way, showing us that yes, we're entering into that era where we need to be more focused on our futures, and we need to be hyper-focused on building our own worth, not just emotionally and spiritually, but also financially and in our core, you know, 3D worlds. But we got to make sure we do it in a way that doesn't restrict us from still living our true selves and living our true lives, because sometimes we can dig into a little hole, and this card can represent somebody who's not willing to let go. And it doesn't just mean letting go of like financial control, it just means letting go of control. And I think that's one of the biggest things that Chiron's going to be teaching us, especially from when it was in Aries, is to let go of control. You can be a trailblazer, you can, you know, lean into better self-worth. But if you have your talent so stuck into a certain way about how you live your life, how you emotionally handle things or don't handle things, you may be completely opposite and like are avoidant of emotions and things. But like that particular habit of having too much control is exactly what Chiron is trying to teach us to let go of in a way that makes sense for us to be able to still feel like our true inner selves, like we're not abandoning ourselves, not self-abandonment, but just the tighter you grip onto something, the less control you truly have of it. And it's hard to believe that, but it really is true. And this card is essentially saying like, okay, you can be, if it's about money, you can be, what's the word? Savvy. You can save, you can do those things, but you also still need to live your life. And I've known a lot of people that will squirrel away every little dime they have, but never actually enjoy their life while doing it. And I've always had this thing in my head. It's like, okay, yes, we need to be financially responsible in our lives. But if you are so hyperfixated on building that kingdom financially, and then by the time you've built it, you're like 70, 80, what are you doing with it then? Where are you going? Like, you're banking on the idea that you'll still be in good health to enjoy your life at that point. Like, there's a fine line between tucking in and not doing anything to save, but also you need to live. And I'm not the best to give advice on that stuff. I don't, like finances and shit, like it's tough for everybody, but we all obviously have to adult. But I think being smart with your money, being smart with your foundation and what you build around you, whether it's relationships, people, money, jobs, things like that, remember to live a little, because Chiron still represents that little wounded child in all of us. And that child still wants to play. That child still wants to experience the world. Like, don't lock he or she in a box. So to me, this card really is very, very on point for Chiron moving into Taurus, because it's teaching us use the lessons you learned, now apply them, but don't lose yourself in those. Don't be so rigid of what you've learned that you apply it to the point where you're then becoming restrictive in your own life. I hope this all makes sense. I feel like this is I'm rambling, but yeah, I think the Four of Pentacles really speaks a lot to it. It's just, you can have seriousness in your life, but there's still time to play. Don't forget to play. Don't forget to enjoy those around you. Don't forget to enjoy the things that make you happy. Don't take everything so fucking seriously. Especially this world we're in right now. It's not easy, I know, but you can't control it. You can't control what is going on, but you can control how you feel and how you want to live your life. And so live it. Live it. Don't get stuck in your little chair clutching on whatever's valuable to you because you're afraid you're going to lose it, or you're afraid that if you try to work on it or do anything with it or change it, it's all going to fail. Like, that's not healing in Chiron, baby. That's stagnation. Don't stagnate yourself. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to say the things that are uncomfortable to say. Don't be afraid to do the things that are uncomfortable to do. You're learning this as you go. And this is telling me that you can have that safety net, but don't bank on that. Don't only bank on that. You still need to build your kingdom from the outside in. You can't sit there and do it from the inside out all the time, if that makes sense. I'm trying to feel if there's anything else really. I wish I didn't have to squeeze all this in 20 minutes. That's Instagram's fault, not Facebook. I know, I need to get my YouTube channel going. I'm working on it, actually. I have been working on it. I haven't said anything yet because it's not ready to go, but I have been uploading some stuff, so stay tuned. Okay, we're moving on. We're gonna do an oracle card. I have 5 minutes to go here. Let's see what we got. This deck is called Wild Mystic. I love this. One of my tattoos is kind of designed off the cover of this oracle deck. So I really do like this deck. So let's do it. Let's see what we have here. Also, oh no. All right, I don't have time to do all this, universe. We're gonna take the one that fell out here, okay? I wanted you guys to be able to see what I'm doing with my hands too, so it doesn't look like I'm faking. All right, oh, consume. That's a word that's been in my head lately. This is weird. Consume, and it looks like it's like a vulture with 2 skulls. All right, let's see what this means, guys. Consume. It sounds a little daunting, doesn't it? Oh my God, I opened right to it. What is happening? Whew. All right. Here we go. This card represents the union of life and death, consuming that which has died in order to live. Many of the mythologies surrounding the vulture are in opposition to one another. While the ancient Egyptians associated the bird with life-giving, fertility, protection, and feminine deities, the ancient Greeks and Romans associated the bird with war, destruction, ill omen, and masculine deities. Okay. The vulture card may be asking you to confront your own duality, or how the opposites within you complement you as a whole. As a carrion bird, the vulture is fundamentally linked to death, but it is through their scavenging that they feed themselves and their young. Just as the death of one creature nourishes the life of another, remember that we are 3-dimensional, imperfect beings made up of negative, positive traits. The 3D world, see? Ah! Our shadow may nourish our light as we learn and accept our own imperfections. The vulture was often used as an agent of vengeance in Greek myths, such as the vulture, though some translations also state eagle, who tortured Prometheus at Zeus's behest. Vengeance, as an emotion, can consume and must be kept in check. This card asks you to take care of that vengeance and overwhelming negative emotions. This card asks you to take care that vengeance and overwhelming negative emotions do not consume you, and to find the balance between light and dark. I like that. I know I seem redundant, but this shit doesn't just happen for a reason. This is extremely on point with the healing of Chiron, duality, learning to find that balance within yourself. I mean, the fact that it even says in here that the 3D world, I mean, that's exactly it. We're in the 3D world. We have no choice but to exist in the bodies we are in right now, our little flesh suits that we're in. But we do have a choice in how we navigate this experience, and we can't let the darkness around us consume us. We can't. If we hole up in our little closets of our minds, if we hold too tightly on everything, if we fear change, fear letting go, fear opening up, fear anything that is going to help us grow and move forward, hence the Chiron going into Taurus and finding that inner stability and just knowing that you can do this, you will get consumed. And society is trying so hard to consume us. Anything online and politics and everything is trying and is succeeding with, unfortunately, a lot of people to consume us. Chew us up, spit us out. I don't care, man. You can't let it happen. This can't happen. There's so much worth living for, and there's so much to share within yourselves to the world outside. And shine that light that you have. Lean into it. Lean into the strengths that you've acquired over this amount of time, because this yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna ramble, but this kind of hits a chord for me personally. Do not let overwhelming negative emotions consume you. Easier said than done, I know, but find your supports. Lean into the people that love you and care about you. They're out there and they see you and they want to be there for you. So Oh, I'm getting emotional. Okay, I gotta go. Bye, guys.